Our seventh tradition states that every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. We will now pass the basket. This is a weekly step meeting. Our format is as follows. Our speaker is asked to talk for 25 to 30 minutes on the step of that week, followed by discussion or questions until 7 p.m. You can find these weekly meetings on our YouTube page, the Conscious Contact Speaker Group of Doylestown. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe and share below. That brings us to the speaker portion of the meeting on 8/14/2023 in Doylestown, PA at the Monday night 6 p.m. Stay Alive Literature and Step Group at St. Paul's Lutheran Church. Tonight's speaker is Mike, and he will be sharing his experience on Step 5. Please help me welcome Mike.
Hi everybody, my name is Mike and I'm an alcoholic.
Hey Mike.
Thank you Dave for inviting me. It's been a long time since I took Step 5. It's a good reminder and about this step. And here is my story. By the accent you can say that I'm not born in this country. I was born in former Soviet Union. Somewhere south, to beautiful parents. Unfortunately, my dad had a hereditary alcoholism in him, and his father was an alcoholic. Probably his grandfather was an alcoholic too. And I guess deep inside I inherited that from my great parents. That's not because that didn't make me an alcoholic right away, but I mean, probably there is a lineage somewhere there. It's part of the story because my dad was constantly being fired from his works, and occasionally we had to move towns, cities, until they found themselves from that little small country in the south all the way up in the northern Siberia. I'm talking about above the polar circle, where it is currently now 24/7 sunny, and starting in September is going to be 24/7 dark. So good thing about that is for them it was that nobody to judge because everybody there was just like them. The bad thing, I inherited all of that behavior, and I thought that behavior is good without drinking. So I grew up in that environment. I thought this is the norm, and once I finished high school, came back south, and I got introduced to alcohol. I did not like it at all, but I guess my behavior or whatever deep inside said, all right, do it more, do it again. Again, my first experience with alcohol was very unpleasant up until for a long time. Alcohol did not suit my body well. That's why I'm an alcoholic. I kept doing it again and again, expecting the different result. After the first year of college, I got in the army where I served. I did not do my time. I served. And I'll get back to doing the time and serving, which is related to the Step 5. And to my recovery process. So came back from the army, and that's when real alcoholism started in me. I mean, the real alcoholic got born. It wasn't pleasant. I finished the college. Yes, I knew I had to get that diploma. At that time, I was advancing to like what I'm gonna do with my future. And a few years later, I found myself here in Philadelphia. Well, the great thing about being in the United States, you do not have that type of alcohol, which when you drink, you may lose conscious for like 2 days. And after that, you just wake up in the morning, like your head is pounding for another month, your internals are burnt that you cannot even like gulp one sip of water. And that's that type of vodka I ended up of drinking back there. Don't ask me the city where I drank that. I have no freaking clue. It was somewhere there. But here, it became more organized. For many years, that became controllable. Became controllable drinking. I would say for about like good 10 years. I controlled my drinking on a weekly basis. Pretty much like Friday night was, okay, stash with vodka, stash with beer, and mark the vodka how much I'm gonna drink today, and tomorrow I'm gonna finish all of that. Saturday repeat, Sunday recovery, and Monday go to work. That worked quite time. I did not like that at all. Nobody liked me, liked me and being around me. I'm talking about my family. That at all about me. Because like my constant thinking was, oh, now we are going somewhere, we are going on vacation, is it gonna be drinking there? We are going on a trip, is it gonna be any drinking there? Will I be able to continue to what I'm doing here? Because this environment already was preset for me. I knew exactly where I'm gonna be. Well, I changed the liquor store so they will not think I'm an alcoholic. Yeah. So yeah, I was buying vodka in one store and next week in another one, driving a little bit next store another week. I thought like probably vodka there is going to be a little bit fresher and the headache is not going to be that bad next day. Whatever I was thinking, I don't know. It was the same result. That worked up until mid 2000, like 2005. Then I said, well, that degraded. I started to get myself into sports, especially like marathon running. So that worked pretty good at the beginning because I could control it better, but it ended up badly too because one of the marathons, like for example, Salt Lake City, the day before, I took the car, I drove around the route and I planted beer for my water stops. So at the finish line, I came to the finish line, I was wasted, like totally wasted. And I did another 5 miles to my hotel, which was probably 2 blocks from the finish line, because I got totally lost. So, yeah. I had to do something about that. So my degradation kind of like escalated slowly. Like I was coming up to that pyramid, and it wasn't only like my degradation, but my job I started to see some bad things with my job, with me talking to other people, my managers, and how I react to the emails, all that stuff, family, but also I had a little bit of problem with the DUI too. So that was my first introductory to the rooms, and when I first time came here, I did not understand a thing what you guys said. I'm honest. I was honest with myself. I came home that day and those days because I was obligated to take the three times we had to go to the beginners meetings or something. And I did not understand a thing. But the idea was there because it was a couple of guys who shared and I liked what they shared. So I believe that was the first seed which was planted in my thick skull, like somewhere there, that there is a hope somewhere. I mean, I did not hear the hope from those guys. it is what it is. The way I listened to them, but it was a big, big hope from the guys, from the old timers. Few years later, the top of the pyramid encircled. So I was about to lose. I was asked to politely, politically correct, to to quit my job. I was losing my license for 2 years, and my family pretty much like hated me. And another thing which happened, I could not get drunk anymore. I was drinking, and it was pretty much like water. I mean, I knew I cannot move. I knew I could not function mentally inside of my head. That vodka did not do any good. I mean, like, did not get me to that high I was experiencing before. So pretty much like, I was like, huh, this is it? What is going on? Like, am I sick? And the voice deep inside said, yeah, like badly. You're not sick, you're screwed. You have no job, you have no license, like your family is about like to throw you away. And on the top of that, your last resort, I mean, whatever you had in your head that the drinking is gonna help you with something, with that illusion which you had in your head that which is going to make you happy, even you lost even that. So my sobriety day is July 6, 2015. On July 3rd, I went to the liquor store. I went to the beer distributor. I did another round. I bought more. And I drank for those 3 days up until like all that long weekend. On July 6, I think I was 1 day sober. I came to the meetings. It was Monday or Tuesday, I forgot. And that's where it hit me. It was a speaker meeting, and one guy, the speaker, had 18 months, and his story struck me deeply. I mean, it struck me, first of all, this guy, with his story, with his, like, what he experienced, because I don't have any horror stories under my belt to tell. With his horror stories and with his lifestyle, and he was able to achieve 18 months, I thought, oh no, dude, you're gonna make it. But what I got from that meeting, it was 1 day at a time, do 90-90, get a sponsor, and do the steps. So I thought to myself, and I was like pretty determined to finish drinking, because I was at the end. That's it. It was no longer pleasurable to have any alcohol in my system, and I knew that is not pleasurable to anybody to be around me too. It is what it is, and for some reason, I wanted that. I wanted those two things badly. But most of all, I wanted to get sober. Actually, I realized I wanted to get sober for entire 27, 28 years, which I drank. Actually, deep inside, I wanted to get sober. Somehow, I don't know. I realized I was an alcoholic right away when I started drinking at my first year in college. I realized something is wrong with my alcohol intake, but I did not know what to do with that. So, being stubborn, I did 90 days, and I liked it. I got that 3 months coin, and because I lost my license for a long time, I had to continue coming to the meetings. So I was constantly here on the 2 meetings a week, and the other 5 days I was in the hot bar meetings. And that's how I did my first 2 years. But exactly at my 2-year anniversary, my family, we went to Cancun, and I was asked to share my story. And that's when it hit me. I'm angry. I'm not happy. I'm resentful. I'm doing. I reached the point where I'm not even happy with my sobriety. So I'm like, I'm doing something wrong. Okay, what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing wrong. Of course, I don't have a sponsor. I'm not doing steps. I'm doing my time. I'm not serving. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not bringing joy to the people in this program. I came from that vacation, picked up the phone. The person who is on the first row received that phone call from me. I asked him right away, what should I do? Mike, do you need a list? Yes, I do. So I made a sponsor the same day. I went through the steps, and what do you know? A week later, I called that person sitting right in front of me again, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I got a sponsee. How I'm gonna handle that? So I have another hour of discussion, like how I should now handle my sponsee, which for me it was like outside of this world. I was scared like to death to take responsibility for somebody else that was outside of my control. And realization that I still need to do steps better, to do a better inventory. So I spoke with my sponsor many times after that. We did 4-step religiously. First 3 steps kind of like they went naturally to me. To summarize them, it was like, I can't, God can, I think I'll let him. So that's pretty much it. 4th step is inventory, deep inventory, which it's a constant reminder to myself that I'm not perfect, but I can. I still have to set the plank a little bit higher. Step 5, admit it to God, to ourselves, and to someone else, exact nature of our wrongs. And I thought this step will never be done by me because I'm going to take some of my inventory to the grave. And this is the difficult part, because that's exactly what this book says. And I reread this chapter multiple times, and I thought, I'm going to avoid some of the things. Unfortunately, we can't. If we skip this vital step, we may not overcome drinking. And it's right in here. And it struck me many times that, I can skip some of the steps, some of the things. Maybe I should not do the full step 5. But unfortunately, those things deep inside, they eat you alive. And that eating you alive does not make me drink, but makes me behave like the guy who was drinking. And that behavior can bring me back to drinking. That's another realization which I came to a conclusion to myself. So, I changed the sponsor, and I did the step 5 based on a true inventory. I cannot say that next day I was pretty pleased, because like some other people shared who did step 5, I was about to find that guy and probably find a way to get rid of him because he knows too much. But after that, pretty easy. I had a sponsee who was extremely actually shy about sharing step 5 with me. So we did the step 5 differently. We flew to Arizona, and he took a confession there. That's pretty much it. So, and after that we flew back. He was happy as a clam. So it's not a suggestion, it's not perfect, it's not ideal, but it's doable. So it's described here in a book. You can talk to the doctor, you can talk to anybody who you trust. The realization that the step 5 was complete successfully came later, because I felt free. I mean, like, I'm still acting the way I acted, because it is me who it is. I'm not saying I became suddenly overnight a saint. My family loves me. Occasionally they do hate me because I act that way. I mean, it's a family. I got a new job. I'm happy at the job. People love me at the job. I still sponsor a few people. Mostly now I sponsor people over there, because back in Russia, and one guy in Europe, because when we meet and they meet me, they know old me from when I was 20s, and when they talk to me, they say, Mike, what is going on with you? We want that. Like, whatever you do, we want it. And I'm just happy to share that with them. And I know they are not a happy bunch, but they love it too. And I'm glad that I'm now serving. I'm not doing my time. I'm not taking what was given free to me, but I'm also giving it for free to other people. That's my story.
Thank you. Okay, so please limit your sharing to 3 minutes. Please keep your shares related to the step. If you feel like drinking, or if you've had a drink today, please see me or speak to someone after the meeting. We ask that you please refrain from the use of profanity. We are in a church and on a spiritual journey. And having said that, I'll open it up.